YouTube, hey, it's Casey Dim at TaxSaleAcademy.com, and thank you so much for joining me on today's video. First off, if you have not yet got your copy of this book, the Tax Sale Playbook, be sure you head on over to TaxSaleAcademy.com. I bought the book for you. All you have to do is cover shipping costs to get it from our warehouse to your front door, which is only $4.97 inside the US. Again, that's TaxSaleAcademy.com. I really think this book is going to help you if you're a new tax sale investor. All right, guys, today we are discussing liens on tax sale properties. And this is an often misunderstood subject when it comes to tax sale investing. First off, if you're not familiar with what a lien even is, a lien is simply a legal claim by a third party to an asset. The lien is going to be recorded in public records against that property, and it impacts your ability to sell a property free and clear because you have that lien that is now attached to that property. Now, there's a variety of different liens. The most common one, of course, is going to be a mortgage. Beyond that, another popular lien would be like a mechanic's lien. In other words, if you hired a contractor to do something on your property and you did not pay that person, they put a lien on that property. And this does happen from time to time on new construction properties in particular. You also have stuff like water and other utility liens. You have code enforcement liens, IRS liens, HOA liens, and all sorts of other fun stuff. So a lien impacts real estate in two primary ways. First off, when you go to sell your property, you will not be able to sell that property with clear title because that lien is still attached to it. So you will not be able to get title insurance issued against that property until you pay off that lien and have it canceled. This obviously will impact the value of your property substantially, since your buyer not only has to pay you the price of that property, but they are also required to pay off that lien at some point in the future. They at least have to deal with it and negotiate it, but it becomes their responsibility. It goes from you to them. So obviously, that's going to turn a lot of people off. Now, you can still sell a piece of property with a lien, but it's going to make things very, very difficult. And secondly, the lien holder in many situations has the ability to enforce that lien. In other words, they can foreclose that lien in the court of law, and they can take ownership of that property. Now, of course, there's quite a bit of effort and expense involved in doing this, but a lien is going to be the start of the owner losing their property. All right, so how does all this apply to tax sale investing? Why do we even care as tax sale investors? First off, what I'm about to say applies to the overwhelming majority of the states. But always, always, always check your specific laws and know all the details. I've said this 10,000 times throughout all my videos. First things first, know your laws. All right, so understand that a tax lien is generally going to be considered a priority lien. It takes priority over all private liens in most cases. So, of all those liens that we just discussed, it's like a mortgage lien, it's going to be wiped out during the tax foreclosure process, provided they received proper notice. A mechanic's lien, any other type of lien, same thing. They're all gone if they are privately held liens. Now, let's talk about the exception to the rule. We must approach this with common sense here. Taxes are very important. The government knows this, and they're the ones that wrote the tax foreclosure code. So to them, taxes are going to be more important than any secondary private liens. If the bank doesn't get paid, it's the bank that doesn't get paid, right? If the taxes don't get paid, however, by enough people, then there could be very serious budget issues, which could, of course, become a matter of public safety. So obviously, there's a great deal of importance on paying the taxes. So the tax foreclosure code in most states is written to eliminate those private party liens. But they usually see no reason to rob Peter to pay Paul. So with this in mind, most governmental liens will not be removed from the property. So you might have a tax lien that's going to be foreclosed through the tax foreclosure process, but in that tax foreclosure process, they do not remove other governmental liens. They'll stay with the property throughout the tax foreclosure, and they will still exist when you buy that property. So in other words, the county has this tax lien that they're foreclosing. They also have this lien over here for, say, a code enforcement issue. The government is not going to use their own tax lien process to wipe out this code enforcement lien. That just does not make a whole lot of sense, right, when you really start thinking about it. So when we're researching our properties, we need to determine if city, county, state, or federal liens exist against that property. Then we need to determine how much those liens are for And at that point, should we just pay off those liens? Maybe they're that cheap. Or maybe we buy the property and then decide we can negotiate the liens down. Or do we just skip the property altogether? But generally speaking, city, county, state, and federal liens are going to remain with that property when you purchase it at a tax sale. So in short, the tax foreclosure process removes all private party liens, but most governmental liens will remain and they'll become your responsibility. So remember, the government is not going to just foreclose out their own liens. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? That's it for today, guys. This is obviously a very big topic, and I've just briefly touched on it. There are so many different variables that come into play here, so I highly suggest that you take the time to learn about this topic and learn how the laws apply in your specific state. I really hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you do enjoy the free videos just like this one, you are going to love the videos inside the Tax Law Academy. They are much more structured, detailed, and so easy to implement because we go into great detail on the entire process that takes you from A to Z, from just starting off as a new tax sale investor to seeing tax sale success. You can become a member of the Tax Law Academy by going to taxlawacademy.com and clicking on that join button. Again, taxlawacademy.com. Click on join. There's also a link down below in the description. And again, guys, if you have not yet purchased Tax Sale Playbook, that's available on the same website at taxlawacademy.com. Right there on the homepage, get your copy of Tax Sale Playbook, and we'll ship it out to you, and you're going to love that book. It's a great beginner's resource to learning about tax sale investing. I'll see you over on the site. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.